can hear the demons call when they do what they do. And now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through, I just gotta get through. Cause I feel like taking off, find a place with
Yeah, what's going on? Back at it again. This is Super Dave with another episode of the Political Revolution Podcast. And I want to say salute to all my supporters out there, all of the continuing supporters, all of the new supporters that just recently got a whiff of what I'm doing over here on the podcast. I want to say salute to you all and thank you very much. And I do apologize. I haven't gotten a chance to get back at you with the Sooner podcast. And appreciate you for the support for the previous podcast when I exposed these gangster pastors, right? Appreciate it. I thank all of y'all, right? Today is going to be another good one. I did a few notes. I didn't want to get bogged down on those, but I'm going to kind of be freestyling this one again. Going to be talking about these weirdo these weirdo politicians, and we're going to go ahead and jump in the school system a little bit, right? First, what I want to kind of talk about is people, you have to watch out for all of these people that talk about they want to be politicians, right? We have a lot of strange and weird people jumping into this political realm. And I mean, that's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy with all the baggage that these politicians have, right? And remember when I tell you controlling puppet masters, they like to make little jokes. They try to give you some of the worst, some of the strangest politicians, right? And put them in our community, put them in the black community right here in Port Arthur, Texas. Now, basically what decided me to, what finally wanted me to do this post, right? Wanted to do this podcast. I put a post. Let me go ahead and read it to you. Is it just me? But is anybody else sick or tired of these clowns acting like a circus sideshow? Is anybody else tired of seeing black pastors and politicians act like gangsters, actors, singers, rappers, record label executives, background dancers, game show hosts, models, Santa Claus, Jesus, and any other childhood aspiration they want to be? I never seen white folks do all this shucking and jiving, dancing, putting on this makeup, and all these craps as a politician or a pastor. These clowns are too weird for me. See, I'm a person like this, right? I want my politicians to be politicianing, right? I know that's probably not a word. I want the politics to be politicking. So in saying that, when I have a politician, when I kind of notice all of these different type of personality, different type of attitudes, it brings up red flags, right? And I'm going to go into a couple of politicians that gives up some red flags, right? First, we want to got one. Let's give some small red flags. I'm trying to try not to call out names, but you know, it may slip out or so. You know, I apologize. But the thing is, me saying this is not anything personal to these actual politicians, pastors, or whoever, right? Nothing personal with them. But I want to critique the actions that they're doing and the things that they have on their resume, right? Again, everything on here is alleged and is my opinion, right? And just like Tasha K say, right, for her unwind, hey, even my name is alleged. So, you know, take that little cue from her. Everything on here is alleged, including my name, Super Dave. So, with that being said, let me continue. Now we have one politician I'm gonna kind of bring the talking about, right? That this young man here, he seems to have a lot going on, right? Now, he's in either the city council or the school board. he has a lot of things going on where I feel that he doesn't give his office all the attention that it should be. You have one, I think he has in his profile, wants to be like a talk show host, a singer, an actor. Then he's involved in the Houston area with the college, with the local college. He does a lot of things over there. I think he was in some type of parade or something like that. So for one, we have these politicians that's in there any and everything, right? That's not really here, in my opinion, to do the actual work of a politician, but to kind of, pretty much promote themselves on the I Love Me tour, right? Wants to use it as a stepping stone for something else, but you can't really, see any type of work that they're doing, right? I don't see anything measurable that you can say that this particular politician is doing, right? So anytime we have one of these and before I say that, right? Before I noticed this, when I used to see him in the newspaper like every other week, I was like, God damn, do they have any more people that represent the school? Anytime they had the school in the paper, I usually seen this young man. He was a statue, pretty much a permanent figure in the local paper news, in the Port Arthur news. So I'm like, wow, why is they promoting this guy so goddamn much in the newspaper? Then um, figured out he has a name. He has a common, um, a memorable last name within the city, right? So, and I seen when he came out of the high school, then he ran for a position. I said, "Oh, okay, I understand now. This is the reason why he was promoting this guy so much in the newspaper, right? I mean, it doesn't make no sense. I mean, once you understand politics, you can kind of see these things pretty much go down right in front of your face. If you have a school with however many thousands of people, and they particularly highlight on one individual with a common last name of an educator that's in the high school, red flags need to go up, right? Somebody is promoting them, they're pushing them there for whatever reason. They're pushing them to do something. They're trying to create a false legacy with the person, try to create um, a false resume on that person, right? So that's why I'm like, man, look, you need to, as citizens, right? You need to be aware of the truth of the baggage that these things that these politicians come with, right? And also, I'm gonna go to another one. This is one of the main reasons why I want to do this. I seen this other guy, right? And again, it's nothing personal with these people. I'm just pretty much critiquing on what they have on their own resume, right? What they have on their own website, what they have on their own Facebook, what they have on their own YouTube, TikTok, whatever social media they have. I'm pretty much giving you the information that's coming right off of there, right? Now, this person right here, they say his education. They graduated from his honors from a historical St. Augustine High School, received a Bachelor of Science in Biology from Tennessee State University, and has a master's and doctorate in philosophy and theology from California University. So I guess, some type of pastor, right? Or wanting to be a pastor. He also completed every National Leadership Institute, Abundant Life Ministry Schools, and Benny Hinn School of Wonders. Okay. And right here, he has something under being a businessman and an inventor. This person serves in multiple vocations. He's a CEO of such company where he invented some type of hairspray. It is sold worldwide in pharmacies, beauty supply stores, salons, health stores, and online. He started this product on his own. After he defeated the battle with hair loss, when he introduced it to the market, he discovered and spoke for itself by providing many people with great hair growth results. This person is also the founder of such and such, which is a new home development company, right? So, according to this, he got a hairspray development home, a pastor, some other stuff. We're going to keep going into it. So him and his wife, they offer some real estate and mortgage lending services. So he's pretty much sell real estate and also there's a lending service according to them. Now in the music, he has supposed to produce two albums along with several singles which have been gospel Billboard hits. His music has been nominated for multiple awards and has transformed the lives of many people, right? Passion for God drives him to sing Christian music, but he also loves an inspiration music with the understanding that God is love. Okay, that's fine. God is love. Cool. Author and publisher. This person is the author of books. Look like 3, 4, 5, and is available to schools. He's also a publisher and published multiple types of books for new authors under his publishing company. So he's supposed to has a publishing company also. Now they say he is a former high school biology and chemistry teacher. Okay, so now you got now, man. Like these people with these connections with the school, man, you got to watch out for them. This school is nothing but a political rest haven, right? This is where politicians go to get their jobs, to try to make, to try to get, to try to see, act like they're a kids person, right? They're going to use the kids against you. They're using the kids against you. So watch out when you have a lot of these, not all of them, of course, not all of them, but when you have certain people that's coming from the school, you just got to be careful of them. You got to be careful of them. Let me see where I was. Let me see where it was. Oh yeah, he's he currently the vice president and adjunct professor at some kind of Bible college in New Orleans, okay, where he teaches New Testament prophecy books and spiritual. So he's kind of all over the place. He has hands in multiple events, right? Multiple things going on, and he also have some stuff here in Port Arthur, Texas. So Bishop Prophet. This is the thing I think, okay, this may be one of the main ones I'm going to get to. This person served as a bishop of a certain church in Helmet, California and in New Orleans. He also travels to share the wondrous works of God. By singing and preaching around the world, he periodically holds miracle services and prophecy conferences in various cities, revealing the true power of God. There have been multiple accounts of people sick of cancer, AIDS, and paralysis being healed in his miracle service. Let me repeat that. There have been multiple accounts of people sick of cancer, AIDS, and paralysis being healed in his miracle services. One more time. There have been multiple accounts of people sick of cancer, AIDS, and paralysis being healed in his miracle service. This person has also hosted several TV ministry shows on the CW, CTN, and public access. People have witnessed the power of Jesus Christ through the television ministry, and the kingdom of God has been advanced through his effort. Did I read that right? And the kingdom of God has been advanced through his effort. Wow, I just not noticed that. The kingdom of God has been advanced through his efforts, right? Okay. Let's go ahead and break that down, people. This is the type of crap I can't stand right here. I can't stand none of these shucking and driving false prophets, right? Whether it's a pastor, a politician, a citizen, whatever. Don't come tell me you have to use God in your doggone, God and using the Lord's name in vain, right? For instance, right, we have a big thing going on with our brother. I respect and like what he's doing a lot, Mr. Deion Sanders, right? Coach Prime, we all know that the story was going on right now that he's left Jackson State University and left for Colorado, right? The internet is going nuts over it. But what a lot of people fail to forget, right, or don't really understand, most of the people is not mad that he left, right? A lot of people is mad that he's used the Lord and saying that he brought him down there and he's doing this for the Lord. He's doing it for a greater purpose, right? Now the main thing I don't want to get too much into that, but one of the reasons, right? When people start using the Lord, right, you get a lot of buy-in. They use that to go to your heartstrings, right? They use that to go to your heartstrings, and also not just that, but Mr. Sanders, right? Brother Dion, he kind of said that he wanted to do some revolutionary stuff where he's going to balance the playing fields with HBCU, right? So the main thing I just wanted to pull out of there is that, when they're using God, if son, I'm over here, God want him to do this and God want him to do that. That's what usually gets people riled up, right? Whenever you use the Lord. Now, right here is the extreme hyperbole. He's saying in his prophetic type of conferences, whatever the hell he has going on, there have been multiple accounts of people sick of cancer, AIDS, and paralysis being healed in his America service, right? Now, what you need to ask, right? This sounds like nothing but a damn hustler. This guy sounds nothing but a liar, right? And what people need to do before this guy ends up hosting political events, hosting Christmas parties, hosting singing events, hosting concerts, you need to check out the resume of these cats, man. A lot of people have these weirdo type of resumes, and some of this stuff, you just can't make this up. You have a guy, right, that's supposedly in all this wonderful stuff, all of this money-making stuff, right? All of these doggone things. He wants to, singing, acting, all this stuff. This guy actually says that he has healed people of cancer, AIDS, and paralysis. Cancer, AIDS, and paralysis, right? It's sad. It's sad, look. And I think people that use the Lord's name in vain and, using this stuff are some of the most low-life individuals ever. Because we have for some reason in Southeast Texas, right? One of a friend of mine called one of the Bible Belt. It's like the Bible Belt of Southeast Texas down here. We have so many politicians. These pastors want to be in the middle of something. Or hell, if you don't have to be a pastor, you got somebody that claims they're affiliated as a church member, a pastor, a singer up in there. They want to start cutting a gospel song. They want to start singing. They want to start lying. You have to tie the fake spiritualism with the politics, right? You have to understand people use these churches. They use these religious organizations, mainly in the black folk. I don't see them doing this in the white areas, right? The white, Hispanic, the Asian, I don't see them do that over there. I don't see politicians using pastors, church, singing, all this stuff in these other ethnicities and racist congregation. I don't see that, man. I don't see that. Now, humanitarian activists. Let's go ahead and check this out. In lieu of the recent rise of racism and the wave of police brutality, this guy was motivated to write multiple laws on policing and human rights. He is still working along with Democrat and Republican elected officials to get these laws into legislation. I haven't heard him. Shit, let's see what he wrote. To get a better understanding of what police go through, he and his wife enrolled in the Citizens Police Academy to ensure the laws he authorized were for fair for both police officers and citizens. Now he also serves as a police chief advisory board member in his city. With his work, he has connected to what goes on with the community and what police can do to keep citizens safe. Man, this guy, I mean, how do you have the time to do all of this? See, these people be in make believe land, right? They make believe all of these goddamn things that they can do. They make sure that they're a church person going from California to New Orleans. You have used to be a teacher, school teacher, ministry in church. He travels the country. He's on the boards of the school board. I mean, not school board. He's on the police advisory board. I mean, this guy is crazy. You need to check the resume of these people, man. These are some weirdos. Weirdos. Now, this guy, he's also partnered in gun buyback programs to remove the guns out of the hands of the wrong people. He has acknowledged and awarded by the city of New Orleans for his community and peace efforts. Annually, he hosts a Christmas with himself, right? Christmas with such and such, which gives hundreds of quality of toys and bikes and children in low-income areas. His businesses, along with other businesses in the community, raise thousands of dollars in efforts to give back. Blah, 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 works with his amazing team to hand the gifts out to children themselves. He holds political forums to keep the community aware of which leaders are being elected in the community. Through his efforts, the best leaders have been put in place. You're a goddamn lie. In order to better equip this community. You are a goddamn lie right there. You don't have no idea what's the best leaders. Through his efforts, the best leaders have been put in place. No. This person mentor youth and adults to discover their purpose, choose careers, avoid deterrence, and start businesses. Him and his wife feed the hungry and do the efforts to help the poor and needy in their community. They also do their own form of disaster relief for victims of natural disasters. Wow. Wow, man, wow. Yeah, that's pretty much the main point for that. So again, people, you wondering why that the city has a lot of problems. You're wondering why our kids being led astray. Now, people, I'm telling you, this is why we have these weirdo politicians, law enforcement officials, singers, all of these crazy people, right? I'm pretty much saying they pretty much loco. You have these people in these political positions leading your kids astray. You have these gangstified pastors that's pulling guns out on the kids. Well, pulling guns out on kids at the school. They're bringing the guns to the school and pulling them out on them. This is crazy. This is absurd. You have kids, right, or being taught by a former justice of the peace that has gotten himself kicked out of the justice of the peace seat and has been banned from being a justice of the peace, right? You have him as a harm monitor extorting your kids, where some people called him small fee Porterie, right? Some people call him that, where if you in the hall service, you give him some money. You as a damn high school kid, teenager, you give him some money, he'll let you go at the hall pass, right? He'll let you go without giving you tardy, whatever, allegedly, right? This is the kind of people that we have over there. You have another teacher, right? Another substitute teacher that has been alleged to be sleeping with them young girls in the high school. Him and some other law enforcement officials. You have them in a little big conspiracy where they were sleeping with some of the students. Well, when it was going to get to him, the guy quit, and then some say he ran for, school board, allegedly, right? So you have these predators inside your school system dealing with your kids, where the kids already have enough problems as it is, right? You have the school system that has a huge drug problem, a huge drug problem with kids overdosing. And from when I'm here, one of them died from drugs that was taken at the school and allegedly died somewhere else in the hospital, right? You have all of these problems in the school district. Bad grades. Another community person had posted that out of a high number of among the kids, there was a high percentage that went to summer school, right? Because they didn't pass the test. If I'm not, one of the tests, if I'm not mistaken. So we have a school district with poor performance. We have a school district that can't do anything about bullying. Bullying left and right. We even had a child lose his eye, had his eye poked out, or had his either lost his eye or have some eye problems, right? Kids fighting, bringing guns to school. And then instead of having a plan of action, right? Porterie, who's making over 200 something thousand a year over there off of your tax dollars, instead of getting a plan on how to fix this stuff, he doesn't do anything. We have a superintendent that encourages the digression of the degradation of our kids by supporting a liquor store. He supported a liquor store to be put right over there by Thomas Jefferson High School, right? Or Thomas Jefferson Middle School, or Niagara, over TJ on Twin City, and that little shopping center right there off Twin City and Guffway. He wrote a support letter to the city council to go ahead and put that there. So instead of having a plan, he actually does more to harm your kids, right? And instead of having a plan, he doubles down and says, hey, this is zero tolerance. Now, and instead of taking ownership, right? Instead of taking ownership of what's going on, he wants to blame everything on the parents. Now, he has a news article, Porterie, right? He has a new article with the Beaumont Enterprise where he said one of the biggest things that he wants to do is keep the kids safe. He has failed miserably at that. You have drugs in the school. You have bullying in the school. You have bullying at an all-time high in the school where it's not only coming from the students, it's also coming from the teachers, right? We also had a situation that's on video where a teacher basically instigates a fight. The two kids didn't want to fight, but they were saying that, hey, she ain't want to fight, you scared of her. Nah, she ain't scared of you because when you went up there, you ain't did nothing. Something to that effect. And because of the teacher instigated the fight, the kids started fighting. So what I would hear happen, the teacher that instigated the fight has gotten fired but rehired. Not only have the teacher been rehired, they put one of the students that she instigated the fight back in her class. People, I'm telling you, these people are instigating the problems with your kids. You have to know that. Look, I'm trying to tell you. These are the simple psychological games that they play with your kids. They put these trash ass employees, right? Trash ass people in your school district so they can have a cancerous effect to your kids. It is no reason why that teacher that instigated a fight should be over there, right? Should be back in school. But you have a trash ass board, a school board, that from what I heard, voted to let them back in for some reason. Well, people, you need to take control of your school. You need to take control of your students. You need to take control of the district, man. Because if you don't take control of the district and get Porterie out of here, right, and get somebody that cares about your kids, they're going to grow up to have more mental problems than they already have, right? Understand these kids, right? And this is to the people that expect the kids to act like parents when they go to school, to act like grown-ups when they go to school. Understand, you can't tell an elementary kid they need to act right when they go to school, right? You can't tell, you can tell somewhat to a teenager, right, to act right. But you have to understand, these kids are not, they are just developing into who they want to be, right? To who they want to be and to who they are. They're still developing their emotions. So understand, right? This is most times the school is the kid's first interaction to a group of people. And they're in a group of people for what, about 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. And that's just that, and that's not including the extracurricular activities. Pretty much 40 hours a week, almost somewhere around there. So you have kids that's on top of other kids, right? Say for high school, all day for 5 days out the week. Kids dealing with different personalities, different races, different attitudes, different ideals, different religions, different beliefs, different colors, different looks, different likes, different wants, different needs, different political or socioeconomic statuses. So you're dealing with kids with a variety of different things, right? So with different styles. So you're going to come up to a situation where the kids may be bullied or going to have an argument and a fight, which you need to understand. When you signed up to have this school district, when you signed up to be the superintendent, when you signed up to be a person on the staff, you pretty much took something that's either explicitly written or it's implied, right? That you will make that facility the safest facility that you can. You took on the responsibility, especially when you take any state money. You're going to have to provide certain things for this state money, right? You're going to have to provide. The main thing is a safe environment for the school. Now, PAISD have a problem with not letting the parents on the school or not wanting to talk to the parents, but you seem to have a zero tolerance when it comes to the kids fighting, right? But you don't have a zero tolerance when it comes from the teachers inciting the kids to fight, right? So you have to understand, people, you are the only thing that's going to get this school great again. Let's make PAISD great again, right? So when they took down all three schools and brought everything and merged into one school, right? That's where you have all of these people with all of these different races and ideas in the one huge setting. So obviously you're going to have some issues, right? You know, instead of bringing it down to the more manageable type of area, you got all these kids in there at one time. Everybody going through, everybody doing the break, lunches. Man, look, you're gonna have some issues. And when you decide, you should have thought about that when y'all closed all three high schools down. So now instead of having an environment broken up where it may be conducive to learning, now you have everybody jammed into these big high schools, right? You have like about 7 or 8 elementary schools and 2 middle schools, or 1 ninth grade and 1 middle school. Then you have the high school. I mean, come on, man. Y'all need to do look. Man, look, there's so many problems with this situation, man. You need to go in there and try to get all of that out. You need to go ahead and remove all of them problems, man. And it's only going to get that way unless you do it, people. You have to demand the removal of Porterie. You have to demand the removal of these board members that support Mark Porterie. There's no other way. You have to get someone there. I've never seen a superintendent that disrespect parents as much as Porterie does, right? And then you have to see it's a network. It's a network that protects him. You have a network from him to the mayor, to some of his board members, to all these other people that's affiliated with the school. They never talk about what the school can do. They always talk about it starts at home. It starts at home with the parents. But hell, you have to understand, the parents don't have a million doggone kids running through the school and bullying them at the house. You know what I'm saying? So you have all of these issues and things at the school. That's where the focus needs to be. It's not always at the house, because at the house, they're not actually fighting with the doggone kids and getting bullied and having drugs going through that house. That's not necessarily the case. But you have all of these things going on at the school. So understand, when you get a group of kids that's bunched up like that, hey, it's going to have some problems. Now, I guarantee you, these kids fighting more at the school than they do at the house. And if they fighting at the home, it's probably something that came from a kid at the school. So you have to understand, man, you need to treat these kids like they're the precious commodities that you want them to be. You have to have people that care. You have to get away from the zero tolerance when it comes to the kids. This has already been studied, right? You had David Banner, rap artist and activist David Banner, come down there, right, 2 times. And the first time for sure, he actually went and explained about the zero tolerance policy, where it just feeds the kids, where it turns the school system into the pipeline for the prison. So that's where the school to prison pipeline comes from. All of these zero tolerance attitudes, you jump on the student, they feeling down. Hell, the student could have been bullied, and the student could have been dealing with trying to fight themselves off or trying to deal with some stuff. The student may not be a fighter, right? So with your lazy behind as a school administrator or educator, you don't have the time or the energy to try to figure things out. Well, you need to find another job, because these kids is all we have. These kids are the future that's going to make Port Arthur, successful, or is going to fall. But understand, other communities, I guarantee this. I guarantee you, Porterie, if he ever leaves the school district, he will not go to another school district in this area. I guarantee you, they will not hire him at P.I. Groves, Port Nature's independent school district. They wouldn't hire him at Neyland. I guarantee they wouldn't hire him in the immediate area. And if they would hire him in the immediate area, he would have great supervision, or he would have a strong board that's going to keep him in check. But I really doubt that he would do anything. Well, he would get hired anywhere around here because of the horrible reputation that he has with the Port Arthur Independent School District. It's just unfathomable, right? So people, you have to understand that it doesn't make any sense when you have Mark Porterie with the worst record, with all these problems with the school district, right? All of these problems about teachers physically assaulting students, with the special needs. Yeah, I'm glad I thought about that, right? You have another situation. You have special need teachers beating the hell out of these kids, man. Teachers beating the hell out of the kids. Teachers pulling gun on kids. Doesn't make any sense. He needs to come out here, and then he don't even want to give a statement about it. He don't want to give a statement about it. He just try to hide it under the rug, brush it off. He needs to make a statement that say, hey, we will not tolerate teachers pulling guns on students. I mean, that's or students or kids. We will not tolerate any violence from special need kids, right? And you have to understand, when you take on the job of a special needs kid, you have to understand they may act unruly, but it doesn't give you the right to punch them and fight them like a grown person. Now, they give you certain tools and certain restraints that you have to do. You have to make sure you try to follow those state sanctioned, restraint guidelines, right? If not, just don't do the job. You have to understand, if you can't or you don't want to do the job, how it's supposed to be done, just don't do the job. I understand if you're tired of kids hitting on you, don't be an educator. You know what I'm saying? Don't be an educator. Don't be dealing with high-risk students that you know that they have some mental issues, right? Or some type of issue that may make them, if that's your excuse, that is making you violent or whatever. So understand, get out that field, go into something else, right? If you don't like that. But you should never try to take it, out on a kid, especially if you know that kid has a mental situation you need to try to deal with. You can't just hit them with the closed fist and, break your own rules that you said that you was going to abide by. People, again, you are the only hope. You are these kids' only hope, and Porterie is not it. You're going to have to remove Porterie, and Porterie is not it. You have to understand, Porterie is such a trash superintendent, right? It's such a trash superintendent. If I'm not mistaken, I know he's a part of at least one $200 million bond issue, I believe. The other $200 million, close to 200. So close to almost $400 million in bonds, right, that went through this city and the school district, and you really don't know what it all went to, right? You don't know who had jobs locally that had jobs that are able to say, hey, I was on the job with this bond money. You can't say that money went to the community. You don't have any idea where it went, right? Because you have, Porterie, because, I suspect that that's the main reason why they have Porterie over here, to try to get these bonds going and drain the financial resources out of this city. And look, understand, now, with all of these problems in the doggone city, right, you had to have known. I almost had a heart attack when I seen the Greater Chamber of Commerce, right? Greater Chamber of Commerce was supposed to be giving Porterie some type of award. I'm like, what? What in the heck they want to give Porterie an award for? What type of measurable? What's anything tangible and measurable that he has done that you can tell me that has been consistent throughout his employment as a superintendent of the school district? Give me something that is tangible, right? That you can say he has done that positively affect the school district and that would warrant an award, right? I don't see anything that's measurable. It's my opinion, but hell, I could be wrong. Somebody point that out where you have to say, Mark Porterie, hey, you receives an award. Now, from this chamber, right, from this Greater Chamber of Commerce, I haven't seen them get any other school districts. Now, they don't just serve Port Arthur. I know they say Port Arthur, but they are the Greater Port Arthur Chamber of Commerce, and they deal with a lot of people besides Port Arthur. You don't know too many local businesses that's getting money here. So it's usually other people from outside of Port Arthur. So I've never seen them give this Arthur Stilwell Award, to any other school district, I think. But anyway. And if you look at some of the people that's got it, it's mostly some of these business people, right? Business people that have different business interests in Port Arthur. I think some plant people, with Jeff Hayes, real estate guy, with Carl Parker, with Sam Monroe of the school district, right? Sam Monroe of the Lamar State College. So you have to understand, right? Also within this little network, they create these different false type of awards, right? They create these made up, make believe awards. Some have a better name than others, right? They make these fake awards to try to make you as a citizen, right, think that they're doing something. If you see a person get a whole bunch of awards, you're going to think they do something. But no, this is just a simple trick. This is a simple trick, right, to try to quell, to quash any type of any type of fire that's being put on them, right? Right now, Mark Porterie has a good fire on him. He has a lot of issues going on with one of his choir persons pulling a gun out, one of his political choir pastors pulling a gun out on somebody at the school, with all of these teacher inciting fights, all of these kind of crazy issues going on, right? And I'm suspecting that's why they're trying to give him a award, to make unknowing citizens, people that's naive, to figure that he's doing a good job. But hell, you can see he's not doing a good job. So you all need to understand that the only way out of this is to get Porterie out of here, right? And you have to get these clown board members out of here, like Porterie, right? And you also have these other young individuals on here, right? Which, nothing against them young individuals, that they just don't have the experience to deal with the problems, right? You have some people look at Porterie, I think when one may have graduated under Porterie, right? So you have these people looking at Porterie as a supervisor instead of a subordinate, right? They look at Porterie like they're beneath them and they're the board members. So that's why you have this issue. Think about it. What we doing in PA politically, right? Why do you think they're doing it otherwhere? They don't have that many young school board members, like 3 of them. We got 3. You don't see that many young school board members in other cities, right? 118, and I think Porterie may be the oldest one out the young one. So I mean, it's just crazy all the way around, right? We are doing some of this clown sideshow Bob type of antics, and we're paying for it. People, you have to put all of this together. These clown politicians, these sideshow, it's a network of sideshow Bob son of a guns, right? All of these clowns, they're all together in this network that's just taking these school jobs and making your kids dumb. They're dumbing down the intelligence of your kids, and they don't have the intelligence, right? They don't have the intelligence or the will to fix it at the school district. They will not get it fixed, people. Your kids is on a slow road to the prison dealing with these educators and individuals, because like they say, they don't have the time or the energy to deal with your kids, right? So instead of doing something that's going to get them out of the prisoner pipeline, they have given up on your kids, right? This school district has given up on your kids, where they will put them into the prisoner pipeline with the zero tolerance policy. Now, it's strange that this zero tolerance policy is only for the students and not the actual teachers that instigate the fights, right? So people understand who's really looking out for your kids. And why is it that the kids have a zero tolerance, but the teachers do not? Man, look, it's my opinion, these clowns over here are just straight criminals. They don't have no understanding on what the right thing to do, and if they do, they refuse to do it. People understand, we all we got as parents and as citizens. We have to remove these crazy clowns, right? Look, they just recycle these trash educators and the stuff. Now, luckily, we didn't get this Porterie as a JP, right? We didn't get the school board Porterie as a JP, or that would have just continued the degradation of your kids. Your kids have been blamed for everything going on in the school. I mean, man, we dodged the bullet right there, thankfully. But look, man, in conclusion, this is your boy, Super Dave, with the PA Political Revolution Podcast. giving you a monologue on my opinion on what's going on with the school system, what's going on with these politicians, how in getting these clown ass politicians will affect your city and will affect your school. And the only way we need to fix this is to get rid of them. Now, hey, I can only give you the information, and it's up to me and you to go ahead and take action. And sometimes you have to shut this joker down in true revolution fashion, right? You have to just go through and clean house on your school district. You need to hold these superintendents and these board members accountable. I mean, like, you need to go run up in their face. I'm telling you. You need to run up in their face, get a camera. Mark Porterie, what's your plan on doing this? School board member such and such, what's your plan on doing this? How you going to go ahead and fix it? Why did you let this person back into school? I'm like, man, it's crazy. Again, this is Super Dave with the PA Political Revolution Podcast. Go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and share this video. Take it easy. Peace.